Welcome back to Sidewalk, Skyline podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rogers. On this episode, we go to part 2 of my interview with Victoria Martin. I should say that if stories of trauma have any kind of triggering effect, you may want to skip over parts of Victoria's story because some things are truly gruesome. And yet, in light of all that she's been through, the power of salvation, the power of deliverance, the power of Jesus to change a life that was destined for destruction. And today, she's a living testament to the goodness of God. So without further ado, this is part 2 of my interview with Victoria Martin. You know, because a lot of people don't really know what goes on with human trafficking, right? And sex trafficking and all that, and that was part of your world, and
it was.
And you know, do you want to talk about any of that? Like,
Sure.
I mean, we don't have to, but I think
it's important to.
It's important to, and I think it helps other people to understand this stuff's going on all the time, probably in every city, everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So talk about what you discovered there.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
when I was young,
Yeah.
and trying to, just to survive, it was a little different setup then. There wasn't a pimp. That's why I think that the wrestlers kind of thought, oh, hey, let's take care of her.
Yeah.
They didn't get any kickback from it, but you know what I mean?
No, but they saw that you were vulnerable and needed protection.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
They were really cool, and then I could watch them do the wrestling. But anyway, most of them were not straight, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh. Most of them were not. But that's okay. So they were really good guys. Later, when I left my abusive ex, because he was trying to kill me several times, I left him and I went to Vancouver. He said he was going to kill my grandma, and he was hiding.
You went to Vancouver, so where were you at this time?
Okay, so I was in Vancouver. I went up north into the central BC to go stay with my grandma because I kept trying to leave the streets, right?
Okay.
But then I was pregnant, and now I've had children. And so I went to my grandma's, because she always has my favorite food. And he said that he was going to kill her if I tried to leave. And
Your
my
abusive ex.
Yeah.
He was going to kill
He was very
your
abusive.
grandmother.
He was going to kill my grandmother. My grandmother lived on a property, a 3-acre property, with a 600-foot driveway that was all wooded. And he was sitting at the top of the driveway and wouldn't let me leave, and he'd have people sitting up there, so I couldn't leave because you could carry guns in your cars there.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let me leave. So I talked to my grandma about it, and we called the women's shelter in Williams Lake. And they figured out a way to come and get me. This is what I mean. Like, there was always these people that just show up. So they came and got me. I was 28. I think I was 20. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Yep.
And they took me to the women's light shelter, and they moved me back down to Vancouver. And when I got to Vancouver, there was one guy on the street that I remembered, and I was looking for him because he's like, everybody was afraid of him. I knew he could protect me if my ex came looking for me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go find him. And then I heard he was in jail, so I helped him escape from jail because he was at Club Fed. Like the sort of jail. And I had no record, so I could go visit him.
Yeah.
And so I visited him and had a car parked with a trunk full of clothes, and I walked out, and he walked out after me and gave me a kiss and left in the other car.
Wow.
And he got out of jail. And now we get to the story.
So he was in minimum security.
He had gone from, like, he went down, and then he was just finishing out a sentence. So he was there, and then he started pimping me.
The guy that was protecting you from your ex. started pimping
Well,
you.
I didn't
Yeah.
see it at first. I didn't
Right,
catch it at
right.
first. I was like, oh, he's like likes me and la la la.
Yeah.
Now we know why I'm single. I had worst taste in men. Worst taste in character. Anyway, so I would leave. We lived in a pretty swanky neighborhood in Richmond, BC, and I would work in Vancouver. And I would also watch girls for him. So, because I was a fighter still. I was still a fighter. I was still angry and I was still fighting.
Yeah.
So I would go down, and one day I came back early. His sister lived 5 doors down from us, and she would watch my kids.
Yeah.
I had 2 at the time. And we came back early, and I go in the house, and she's not there. My children are there, but she's not there. And I go over to her house. She was doing the drugs that we paid for, like, with about 10 other people in her house. So I dragged her out of her house and I beat her quite badly. Somebody yelled, "Oh my God, she's killing her." And I just kept doing it. I was so angry. I was so angry. And it wasn't, I don't think it was just about her leaving my children in the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the police came. It took 6 officers to pull me off of her.
Wow.
I was just, and then I got.
There's a whole lot of stuff stored up in you.
Oh, there was so much.
That was the catalytic moment.
That made it blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was hiding because police were going to come.
Yeah.
The only remorse I have I should have more. I'm sorry that I did that in some ways, but the thing that I regretted the most about it was that my oldest son came out and climbed a tree and saw me do it.
Yeah.
Because he heard the noise of the neighbors yelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he witnessed that. So I have a lot of regret about that because he shouldn't have had to have seen that.
Yeah.
Right? And that was causing him trauma. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I took off because I was pretty sure they were going to arrest me. And then they did.
Yeah.
And then they let me go, oddly enough. I'm not really sure how that happened, but they let me go. And
do you think it was because you were a mother with kids? Or
no.
Did they know you?
Oh yeah.
and did they know the people at the other house and the woman you were beating on?
Yeah, I think that I paid off police officers, a lot of police officers, and my cousin was a staff sergeant in the Vancouver Police Department at the east side, so I don't know, but somehow I got out. I don't know, I wasn't questioning it. I was like, "Boo, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
So I went home, and about 2 weeks before that, when I was out on the street watching watching girls, somebody had come up to me and wanted to give me a track to teach me about Jesus. And I'm like, no, because I was being watched, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, go. Like, I didn't want her to die.
Right.
And I'm like, you gotta go. And she's like, no, here, just take this. So I put it in my purse. So 2 weeks later, fast forward, I get to where I'm now trying to leave my house and I want to leave this lifestyle. I'm done. I go over to her house and I'm like, I'm done. That's it.
So this is after leaving your grandma's and then going to
back to Vancouver.
Back to Vancouver.
Sorry, I know I was all over
And
the
then the guy that was protecting you you were living in Richmond, working in Vancouver, and is this now another attempt to escape the streets?
This was my attempt to escape.
Okay, so where'd you go then?
So I was trying to change purses.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to disguise myself somehow. I don't know what I was doing. But I was changing purses and the card fell out.
Oh.
And there was a phone number on it. So I called the phone number.
on the gospel track.
On the gospel track. It said, in 2 weeks you're going to need this. Call this number.
Huh.
So I called the number. It was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I said, hello. And he's like, stay right where you are. The police are coming. And I'm like, I don't want to go with the police. What are you doing? 2 police cars came. And they said, it's okay, but we have to do it this way. We're going to take your children in the other car. We're taking you in this car. Just go with it.
Yeah.
And they're RCP officers. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay. I don't know why everybody's letting me go here.
Yeah.
So they took me, and they took my children in the other car, and they took me to a mission in New Westminster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the number on the gospel tract was
the guy at the
connected
mission.
to the guy at the mission.
Yeah.
So you end up in New Westminster, which is how far away? Where's that?
Not that. It's like the next. It's like from here to Essex, I guess.
Okay.
It's not that far.
20 minutes, half hour.
Well, you have to go over a bridge. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have to go over water to get there.
Yeah.
So I get to the mission, and he's like, we're going to make special arrangements. I had to make special arrangements for you to be able to stay here with your children. And I have no idea what's going on right now, because I'm like, how did I get here and not go to jail? I'm still reeling because I have.
And who was after you at this point?
The guy who I helped escape from jail that was pimping me, and
and he was wanting to come back.
well, and I don't know if his sister survived the beating. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened there. That because I left, right?
Yeah.
But I get there, and who's the pastor there? They're running a soup kitchen
at New Westminster
at the
mission,
New Westminster Church.
Yeah, who's the pastor? Yeah.
The pastor is a former Hell's Angel turned pastor. The only person who can bring me to God. That's exactly. His
the
name
right
is Rob.
person that you would have this twisted respect for because of his history.
Right.
And yet God brought him into focus for you so that you could come to Jesus.
Yeah, and I don't even know how it all happened other than having that card. Like, I don't know. She came up to me, and I had the card in my purse, and I was changing purses, and that's how I found him. Like, it was just, I can't explain it. Like, it's just so crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then he used to start every sermon off with, going to church doesn't make you any more of a Christian than going to McDonald's makes you a hamburger. Every sermon.
Part of the liturgy. Yes.
But he gave me a Bible, and I remember I was still in the testing God phase. So I'd be like, oh yeah, God, you're that, you can do this? Show me what you can do. And I'd flip through it and let it stop somewhere and read that. Within 24 hours, it applied to my life.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like, well, that was nice, but let's try it again. Right?
Yeah.
So then I kind of got it. Then he showed me these people who had a church that was on like a corner church. And it was called New Beginnings. Go figure. Here I was in my new beginning.
Yep.
And Pastor Rhonda, rest in peace. Oh, this woman. Pastor Rhonda and Pastor Ken were the pastors of that church. And it was just a community church. And I remember everybody was speaking in tongues, and I thought they were all a bunch of weirdos. I was like, wow, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But she was the kindest, most wonderful person. And God used her to help save my life. So she was like, well, you need to get baptized. Like, she's got the whole list of things that we're going to do. And so I accepted Jesus 3 days later. I was supposed to get baptized on the Sunday. 3 days later, I got a job at Red Apple, and I was walking to work, and I was taken right off of the street.
By the people that were after you?
No, hold on. Something happened in between that.
Okay.
So the day before that, my mom had applied for an ex parte order with my ex to take my children. She was always taking my children because it was money. There was baby bonus then, right? So I say that like it's so normal, but that's really was the normal that I knew at the time. So she applied for. So Pastor Rob, he's like, So the police want to know where you are. What do you want me to do? And I'm like, I don't want you to get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, your mom's going to take your children. I'm like, is my mom coming here? He's like, no, I won't let her come here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like, but the police are going to come here. I said, well, I don't want you to get in trouble, so yeah, let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the police came,
Mm-hmm.
and my oldest son. He's like, Mommy, I promise I'll be better. Please don't take me.
Oh. Yeah.
And I was like, you are such a good boy. You didn't do anything wrong. You're going to go visit Nana. It's going to be okay. Nana just wants to see you and spend some time with you, and they're going to take really good care of you, make sure you get there nice and safe.
Yeah.
And maybe give you lights.
Yeah.
So they took my children.
Mm.
And then Pastor Rob said, you're probably going to have to find another place to stay because I kind of got extra permission because you had the kids. Anyway, so I went to work the day after that at Red Apple, and I was kidnapped off the street. It was a setup.
Your ex and your mom, were they?
They got paid by the guy who I took off from.
Yeah.
My ex. That's how this works.
Yeah.
If you're if you're being trafficked and you're making somebody money, you're their property.
Right.
And if you're their property and you disappear, they're going to do what they can to find you because you're an income property.
Yeah.
And that's really what it boils down to. You are not a person.
Yeah.
You're a ways and a means. It became living with my mother again, basically.
Yeah.
But in a much more violent way.
So you were abducted. What happened then?
I was taken to an underground parkade. I was injected with a drug. I don't remember a lot from that. I just remember feeling the car moving, and every time it would turn, I remember paying attention to when it was turning and counting. I saw it in a movie one time.
So you're trying to think your escape plan.
I was already planning my escape. I didn't realize I was I wasn't thinking, oh, this is going to be my escape.
Yeah, but it was your way of life, right? Because of
it was
various situations where you're always looking for how do I get out of this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I came to, I was hung by my armpits in a way that in a barn. I don't know. It was like a barn, but it wasn't. It was more like a shed there. Yeah. And then there was 4 people there. I had been sold to them, apparently.
Yeah.
And they had sold me to whoever owned the home, who I later found out who that was. But and then they gang raped and tortured and passed me around and moved me from different buildings on the property to people who had paid for me because they're recouping what they've already gotten paid out for me, right?
Yeah. And you told me whose farm that was.
Well, I didn't know until years later when I saw pictures because the police kept it very tight-lipped.
Yeah.
It was Robert Pickton's farm.
Yeah.
I recognized it when I saw the pictures after his arrest.
The pig farmer that was a serial
And I
killer.
guess that's where he had me as...
Wow.
Like, I still have massive scars in my armpits and stuff from that, but... And then I was still planning my escape. I remember specifically talking to the police and saying at trial, I kept seeing somebody in the corner, and I could see a red light like a video camera was taping me. And I remember it was part of my testimony. And I didn't realize it was him, but I said they had red hair. Like reddish hair, like it was caught, like I could see it, and I remember seeing the camera. I remember spitting on them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't do nothing. I was so angry, and I was so. It's like, you think you're something, you're nothing, and I spit on him. I didn't care at that point. Like I cared, but I didn't care. I was like, it made it worse. It made it worse. I'm not going to lie.
Would you say that, cumulatively through various traumas in your life, was this maybe the darkest point for you? Or just one of many dark scenarios?
I think everything is in layers.
Yeah.
I think that stuff that happened to me when I was a little kid was very, very dark.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff that happened to me as an adult was very, very dark.
Yeah.
I think that the domestic violence was super dark. There was a lot of really, really dark chapters in my life. But God is so good though, right? Because God gave me all these bright lights in the middle of it.
Well, let's talk about, let's get on to the healing journey here, because how did you get out of being
that.
abducted and taken into that?
Well, here we go. So the thing about people is is that once you just start, when I was spitting on them, they didn't like me so much. But then when I just let them do whatever and started saying, yeah, you're right, and conforming and just letting them think that they had me and like I gave up, they let me have more freedom. So then they didn't stay on top of me when they took me to a place. And I convinced that person to give me an extra $50. And then I convinced him to say, oh, yeah, she's say good things about me and you're coming right back. And I went to the barn, used the phone, called a cab that I remembered, and then hid in culverts until it came.
Yeah.
And that's how I got away. And then I told him, I said, can you take me to the New Beginnings? And he's like, what New Beginnings? And he didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, just go fast. And I could hear dogs. I remember hearing dogs and guns. And like when I was hiding. And I said, just take me. And then I made him take back ways. Because when we got to New Westminster, I remembered the rights and the lefts, which will come up after when I finish this up. But I said, just drop me off down over there. And I was a mess. I was bleeding. I was very injured.
Yeah.
I don't know why he even let me in his cab. So the court, I don't remember this part, but the court document said that the church, the New Beginnings Church, there was people who went to that church who owned a little cafe on the corner. And apparently they opened at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I banged and they let me in, and I crawled under the table. The court document said I was in a distraught, disheveled, and hysterical state. I don't remember it, but I'm just repeating what the court document said from the witness testimony.
Yeah.
And then they immediately said, God is so good. Like, he's so good. Like, he put so many good people around me.
Yeah.
They immediately found another place for me to stay. Another safe place for me to go with another church family.
Wow.
So that I could be safe.
Yeah.
But at first I had to go to the hospital, and they wouldn't leave me.
Yeah.
They wouldn't leave me. They made sure I was safe. Like, they would not leave me.
They were guarding you.
They guarded me.
Yeah.
I do a prayer all the time about, please keep your hedge of protection angels around me.
Yeah.
I didn't then, but boy, did God ever keep it around me.
Wow.
And then about a week after that, I went and I was on the July 20th, or on the 26th, so 6 days later, I was baptized in West Vancouver. And when I came back from the baptism, my pastor went to go, one of the Nigerian visiting pastors, we went to go minister to somebody who was in the Royal Bar, who was saying that they were going to commit suicide. And so I went with him, and because I still wouldn't talk to the police. I was still too scared to talk to the police.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and it was a setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came in guns blazing, and the barmaid called the police.
your abductors?
Well, he had sold me. The people he had sold me to.
Okay, so they came
They
to
came
the...
in guns blazing.
Okay.
And so I was worried that the
Yeah.
pastor was going to get injured.
Yeah,
So I'm like standing between him and the people with guns.
yeah,
Because I don't want anybody to die on my dime.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm trying to convince them to talk to me outside because the police are probably going to come.
yeah.
So I tell him outside, he's like, we need you to come and pay us $500 that we paid for you.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, for sure. I got money at the house. Go back to Richmond. I'll meet you there at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. But then the police came and they interviewed me. And then I talked.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was it. We were done. I was going to die if I went back there. If
Yeah.
I went back there, they didn't want $500. They wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
So I talked to the police, and then they took me to the police station. There's like stacks of books with mugshots, and I remember I was still street, and so I'm like, and I'm recognizing people, but I'm going like this, flipping through the book. No, don't see anybody, because I'm still
living by the code of the
still
street.
living by the street
Yeah.
code, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
all I really knew. And then, those officers were so good to me. See, and that's who, they were the people, they were the officers who finally changed my mind about police, actually.
Yeah.
They stuck with me.
Mm.
And then they wanted to meet me again. I was like, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to meet me because I was still kind of not really talking all the way, and they knew that. I mean, police know, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to meet me again, and I remember trying, like, hiding. It's being ridiculous. They weren't nice when they did this. They were sitting in a wide open table in front of a big window. Come sit here, and I'm like hiding behind a plant. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can we talk over here?
Yeah.
Because I'm worried that
Yeah.
somebody's going to see me, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's because they wanted me to sign the documents in. They already
Yeah.
knew. It's amazing to me that they knew. They already knew.
Yeah.
They already knew everything that happened. They already knew everything about what happened to me, which is weird. Like, they didn't know, like,
Somebody else must have been talking, right?
well, I didn't know that they knew at the time,
Yeah.
but they went there and they had documents to put me into protection right then and there. Like,
Yeah.
why would you do that for somebody who just, like, but the church talked to them. Everybody
Yeah.
was talking to everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I finally sat down with them, Lauren Stenderson and Bill Marsden. that was who they were, and they were so good to me.
So all of this stuff that had been going on, you went to trial. Was it your ex or the friend that got you out of jail that were?
There was three
Okay.
people that went to trial.
So 3 people were on trial, and so you went through that whole process. The police were protecting you.
Bill Marsden was funny. He was like,
Yeah.
when the courtroom was packed, because they had to they traveled everywhere with me. I would be in judges' quarters and come through the judges' entrance, and they would hide me, and I had bulletproof vest, and I had no idea how deep I'd gotten myself into.
Yeah.
Everybody had to go through a detector to go in there.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and his family members were sitting in the courtroom, and Bill Marsden sat down beside them, put his hand here and on top of his gun, and he's like, "You're next." He's such a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, they took me up to go see my children.
Yeah.
I had to go into protective custody for
Yeah.
the trials.
Yeah.
That's what the documents were for, through the RCMP and that. And they took me to the middle of the Caribou
Yeah.
to go see my children. And my mom said she would meet them, and nobody showed. And they had bought my children all these gifts.
Oh my goodness.
So they gave them all to my mom.
Yeah.
So my children never really knew. They just felt like I just disappeared on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they moved me. They said I could either go to England or Regina, Saskatchewan. Those are the only two places I would be safe. I'm like, okay. Where's Regina? I had no idea.
And that's where you went?
That's where I went, and they would fly my daughter out to see me. They had a RCMP officer that moved into the apartment across the hall from me.
This was a big thing that they were dismantling.
Well, because remember I was telling you about the turns, and I was keeping track, and they took me for a ride before I left, and said, "Okay, tell me what you know," because I told them about the turns, and I said, "Okay, well I counted," and then I was like, I can't remember all the counts now, and we did it, and I guess I led them right to his farm.
Wow.
So in the 97 raid that failed on his farm, that was from me leading them to the farm.
Wow.
But they didn't have all their ducks in a row, I guess, or I don't know what happened with that. But anyway, I know a lot of people got big promotions after I testified. I don't know. And I was never testifying about Robert Pickton. That's the weird part.
No.
So it was...
No, but one connection leads to another.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea how deep it was. I did not know. And it wasn't until... And they didn't tell me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until years later when I saw the pictures of the farm that I realized. But they stuck with me. They made it so that I could stay in contact with them. I stayed in contact with them until 2011, I believe. I always had a way. They said they would send care packages for Amanda or for my daughter.
Yeah. Let's fast forward to you getting. When did you get your kids back and then coming to Windsor and the healing journey?
Sorry.
You know that what happened in once all of that court stuff was behind you. You're now in Regina.
Right.
You're getting visits with your kids.
No, because I was still some visits with
some visits.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom wouldn't let me see Matthew.
Okay.
My oldest. Sorry.
Okay. So, talk to me about like I say, you know, if anybody should be dead or institutionalized for life based on life experience, you completely qualify, and yet the hand of God was on you
100%.
and brought you out of all that. And so let's get to the healing journey now, okay?
I was still in custody battle when I was in Regina, but I couldn't actually participate because we couldn't let him know where I was because they already knew that he was the one. I remember when we were at court. Yeah. They said watch the cameras when I was in the room, and there was my ex talking to the defense lawyers. That's how we started putting it together. Yeah. Well, how I started, they already knew. They didn't tell me, but they knew. Anyway, so my grandma ended up with cancer, and nobody would go and take care of her. So I had. She was in Clinton, BC, so just outside of the Caribou region. Yeah. So I opted out of the program to go take care of my dying grandmother. Because she was more like a mom to me than a grandma, and nobody deserves to die alone. And she wanted to die in her home. Yeah. And she had 2 little homes. So here's where the other part of my Santa talk came. She had 2 little homes that were identical. Each had a white picket fence.
Oh my goodness.
So I had my 2.5 children and my white picket fence. So I had all 3 kids there when they were little. And I nursed her. And finally we had to have her go to the hospital. And when she passed, not very long after she passed, I went back to Regina because they said, because they were still in touch with me, the police, they said they taught me to make moves to get rid of the paper trail each time, because they had obliterated my education. Like on paper, I did not exist. So I didn't have my education. I didn't have any job history. So so I had to build all of that again, right? So Pastor Rhonda is the one who set me up with Pastor Emmanuel in Regina. And that's why when I was in Regina, when I went there, she made sure I landed in a church. And then she passed away. So when I went back there, back to BC, I took care of my grandma. She passed away in 98. And then I came back, 2004, sorry. And then I came back to Regina to where it was safe again. And then I was leading youth and children's ministry, and Pastor Emmanuel and Pastor Jenna were wonderful. And they had to keep my secret, right? So nobody really knew much about me, and it was really difficult when you're in a church and you should be telling everybody everything, and I couldn't.
We're not keeping the secret, though.
Now we're not, because guess what? It's over. It's done.
It's over.
It's done. It is done. And actually, Robert Pickton's passing gave me a lot of freedom. I'm sorry that he had to die that way, and I'm sorry that he lived such a horrible life. And I pray for him, and I pray for his soul, which I'm sure I'll never see again, unfortunately. But life is about choices, right? And I made a lot of choices that got me to where I was. That wasn't God. God didn't put me in all those terrible situations. God didn't do all those terrible things to me.
No.
God protected me through all of my mistakes. Like,
and the horrible things that others chose to do to you.
Right.
Some of those things were unavoidable.
But I made choices to get myself there too. I have to be accountable for choices I made.
Okay.
I decided.
It sounds like some good recovery talk.
That is recovery talk. I have to be accountable for the choices I made. That if I had done this, maybe this would have happened, right? But I didn't, and I have to accept the fact that I didn't. And while what happened to me was not right and was not okay, and is not okay for it to happen to anybody, there's choices that I made that led me down that path towards people that would do those things. I did nothing to protect myself there.
Right.
And I kind of relied on everybody else to protect me, which is, now, like I said, hindsight's 20/20, right? I rely a lot on God now.
You do. I know it because I see all the time, and your testimony rings true. That you've learned to trust your Heavenly Father and learned to give everything to Him all the time, and to receive from Him. Not just I'm so bad and thank you for being merciful, but you actually embrace His kindness and His love for you.
Because I don't think God looks at me like that. I don't think God goes, "Oh, you're so bad and I was so..." I don't think God even thinks like that. I don't think He's like, "You were bad and I was merciful. I'm the good guy. You're not. But here, let me hug you." That's not God. That's not God at all.
No.
And if that's what you think God is about, then you don't know God at all. Because He loves you. He loves me. And He knows that I am not Him. I am not strong like Him. And He gave me His Son. He gave me His Son so that I could be okay and whole. He gave me His Son so I could feel unconditional love. He gave me His Son so that I could always have somebody with me to help me and strengthen me and lead me and guide me. Matthew 4 and 5 talks about that. It taught in chapters 4 and 5. It talks about about forgiveness and about, those are epic chapters of Jesus just telling us exactly how to do it. This is the way. And what better example for us to follow? Because we're all sheep, right? And sheep, right? They all kind of like and we follow each other. Right? You've seen sheep,
So,
right?
was it the early days of COVID?
Yes.
When
I'm sorry. I go off on a
no,
tangent.
no,
I love
was
God
it
so
the?
much.
I think it was the early days of COVID when we were starting to have the church broken into small groups, spread around. And I'm pretty sure it was then, or maybe it was even before COVID. But you lived a few blocks from the house where Marsha and I lived at that time. We were having a small group
Yep.
in our backyard with a bonfire.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I
It was
remember you coming, and I remember around that time you and I having a conversation about your mom. And I remember how you were really fighting against, I don't know if I can ever forgive my mother.
I didn't. And God asked me to, and I was like, I don't know.
So I guess this would be, maybe my last question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed the
Oh,
whole
that's all
healing
right.
part.
Yeah.
I ended up at house going.
We did pretty good to get 58 years into this amount of time.
I did outpatient with House of Sophrosine, so that.
Yeah, so you were had come through House of Sophrosine recovery home for
I didn't
women.
know. I didn't stay there.
you
I
did
did
the
outpatient.
day program.
I did
Okay.
program for
So-
and 12 weeks aftercare.
Yeah,
I still talk to my person from there.
yeah. So during that time that we were talking at my house, and you were telling me about your mom, and I remember this was a huge step of forgiveness, right?
It was.
And can you maybe just reflect on what you had to learn about forgiveness?
It's like everything else in my life. It's a layered approach. God asked me to forgive my mom, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to take me. And I was able to say it after about 6 months. Okay, God, I forgive her. Just like that kind of flippantly too.
Yeah, as a statement of intention.
Yeah, see, like I'm doing what you want me to do.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what he wanted. And I didn't realize until actually more recently. I forgave my mom in layers. I've forgiven, I will speak to her. I still have boundaries, because you can love with boundaries. I will still not speak to her. She only messages. But she's still my mother at the end of the day, and I still want her to go to heaven.
Yeah.
I want her to know Jesus. And
Yeah.
so I talk to her about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she lets me, she's like, she doesn't really believe that, and she believes that, this whole afterlife, and we're going to have a second life. And I'm like, no, Jesus will, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point, God, along this journey, I had to forgive myself.
Yeah.
And God showed me how to forgive myself.
Yeah.
And when I forgave myself and I understood how much God loved me, I was able to forgive other people.
Yeah.
I was able to go, you know what? I forgive you, Mom.
You still have to forgive yourself.
I'm really sorry for all that
Yeah.
you've gone through, Mom.
Oh yeah.
I told her around Christmas time, I'm so sorry for whatever hurt you along the way. And I just pray every day that you know God and that you get closer to your God before your final day, because you deserve to know Him.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just forgiving for me. It was, God needed me to forgive myself.
Yeah.
And I thought, how can I not forgive myself when He's forgiven me? Like, who am I?
Right.
Who am I to think that God can forgive me, but I'm better than that and I don't have to forgive myself?
Right.
Like, who am I to think like that?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, God, thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending your Son to teach me all the things I needed to know to be more like Him, to be the example for me to follow.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me how to forgive.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me how to love. Like, truly love with boundaries and in healthy ways. And thank you for giving me my life back. Like I have, people say that they get second chances. I've had like more than 2 chances.
Yeah.
And God never let me go, ever.
Yeah.
That's faithfulness. And I can learn from that.
Yeah.
And actually, Sammy said one thing, and I ended up using it with my youth. Because I'm back, he's given me back everything that I lost along the way.
Yeah.
And he used you a lot in that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being a willing participant. But Sammy said something in a sermon a few years ago, and he said, when you're talking to that person and you just don't really like them, and you just feel really uncomfortable, and maybe they smell bad. He's like, do you know God loves them as much as he loves you?
Yeah.
And that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I used it with my youth a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you know?
Yeah.
And it's a great lesson to learn because God loves all of us equally.
Yeah.
Like nobody's better than anybody else. He loves us equally and unconditionally. And he just wants us to be okay and to thrive. That's what his plan was for us all along. And he gave us everything we need. If we look at the Word and we read Corinthians, Psalm 23:4, chapters 4 and 5 of Matthew, you got it all right there.
Yep.
Everything you need.
Yep.
Everything you need to learn to follow the example of Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have a good life and live it abundantly, which is what God wants. You want him to be pleased with you? Do that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being that kid digging through the manure saying, I know there's a pony in here somewhere.
You're welcome.
And, I like I say, I have front row seat to watch how God has really made you a new creation, given you love, given you purpose and meaning, and just you're. I'm on your team.
Thank you.
So,
thank you so much.
and thank you for trusting me enough to have this conversation publicly. I'm sure that someone's going to hear this, and God's going to speak to them through something you said. So thank you, Victoria. God still does miracles, and he still is good.
Thank you.
And in the next episode, I'm going to be talking with Susan Wells. She's a prior podcast guest, and she's been giving leadership to some media development efforts for Maury Blair's Breakthrough Ministries. So she's going to be talking about how artificial intelligence is being used effectively to retell Maury's story to brand new audiences, literally going around the world, his story again.
I love Maury.
And the doors that are opening for Maury in new ways. So that'll be on the next episode of Sidewalk, Skyline podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rogers, and thank you for listening.